What you want to do on this is deal with this radical first. On the inside, even though it doesn't have parentheses there, you'll go ahead and put these in parentheses, the whole part under the radical. Since it didn't have any parentheses, we just put them. That means that you'll have a 1 here for the exponent. If you have an index here, or let's say a root, and a radical, and then you have a base, let's just put b for base, and e for exponent. What you're doing is you're rewriting it. You're going to say b raised to e over r. Or another way you might see this is like written like this, where you have x to the n over m. So you're changing it. You're rewriting the radical with rational exponents. That's the goal. So we're going to do that here too. This is the root, also known as the index. This is the exponent, which you could also think about as the power. First, you'll just rewrite it the way it is now. I'll write the base on the inside of the parentheses. It's being raised to the first power, which is being divided by 5. Once you have this, now you can use the properties of logarithms to move the exponent to the front. So we're basically just dealing with an exponent. It started off with a radical, but you change it to a rational exponent, and then you move that exponent to the front. Now on the next step, either you can leave the 1/5 on the outside and put it back at the very end, or you can keep it the whole way, which the way you do it is up to you. Either way, you should end up with the same answer. But I say that it might be easier sometimes just to keep it together.
Okay.
I used to do it that way too, where I just left this on the outside and then I distributed it at the end. But I found that students have an easier time just keeping it all together. So that's what we're doing. Now we're expanding this. So to expand it, you want to count how many terms there are going to be based on the argument. Every single one of these that multiply or divide is a separate term. So here we have 2 terms from the top. These are multiplying, and they're being divided by a 3rd term. So that means that there are 3 of these, and you want to write this 1/5 log base 2 3 times, 1 time for each term. After that, go ahead and fill out the terms in the same order. The first one is x, the second one is y to the 4th, and the third one is 16. And now you want to put the signs. Whatever came from the top is going to have a plus sign. Whatever came from the bottom will have a negative sign.
Okay.
Now the first one, for x, this is automatically positive, so you don't really need to put the plus sign, but it would go here if you were going to show it. The second one with the y to the 4th, this one needs a plus sign. And the last one with the 16, this one needs a minus sign. It goes in front of the log base, or the log part, and its coefficient. Now, we took care of expanding it and putting the signs correctly. Now we have to deal with any exponents and any simplification that can occur. Look at it piece by piece. The first one doesn't have any exponent other than 1. And there's no way for the 2 to turn into an x with the current information that we have. So this one is done. There's nothing else to do for that first one.
Okay.
But with the second one, the 2 won't be able to do anything with the y. We don't know enough about y in this case. But there's an exponent here, and you have to move it to the front. When you do that, it's going to multiply with the 1 there. So this will now be 4/5 log base 2 of y. And I'll bring this one down. And now this one over here, the 2 can turn into a 16. Or to say it another way, 16 is a power of 2. So that means you'd want to see what the equivalent is in terms of 2 raised to a power. If you start with 2 squared, you got 4. 2 to the 3rd power is 8. And 2 to the 4th power is 16. So this is the one that we need.
Okay.
And you rewrite the 16 as 2 to the 4th. And now, when it's like this, you can bring the exponent down to the front, where it's going to multiply with the 1 in the fraction. So this will now say 4 over 5, log base 2 of 2. The other ones are done. There's nothing else to do with those. And then the final thing is that because we have the same numbers here and there's nothing else there, we already moved the exponent, this whole part will cancel out. It'll turn into a 1, and then basically it's like saying 4/5 times 1, which means that this is just 4/5. We don't have to write anything further.
Okay.
And then that's as far as this one will go.